Hello, everyone. Welcome to C-Suite Talks. We speak with industry leaders, introducing you to some of the most interesting people and businesses today. We are focused on women, money, and power, as well as diversity in all areas. Welcome to C-Suite Talks. I'm Dianne Gubin, co-host of C-Suite with...
Beth Hilbing, co-host of C-Suite.
And this week, we are just so delighted to have Margaux Currie. Margot is the managing director of Cigna Healthcare, and she leads the commercial, medical, clinical solutions and strategies area. Margot has over 20 years of experience in product and strategy roles. Before joining Cigna, Margot was a director at SureScripts for the eligibility and formulary business, and she led the launch of real-time prescription benefit. Prior to healthcare, Margot led her own consulting practice and served as an international strategy consultant for Booz and Company's aerospace and defense practicing, and she lived and worked all over the world. Margot was raised in Laguna Beach, California. She now lives in San Diego with her husband, her dog, and two young girls. They're 5 and 7. And when she's not working, Margot loves reading, exploring museums, and practicing yoga. And Margot, I understand you also went to Harvard?
Yes.
Yes. And so Margot has an amazing story she's going to share with us. She's a recent stage 3 breast cancer survivor, and she serves on the board of the American Cancer Society San Diego chapter and the Tiger Lily Foundation. Welcome, Margot.
Thank you so much for having me.
We're so excited to have you. And so, we would love for you, if you're open to us, kind of share with us your journey of how you discovered that you had stage 3 breast cancer. How'd you find it, and what did treatment look like? And I know we go every year for our mammograms, and they'll say things like, I had this happen. Oh, we see a slight shadow, but we can't say that it's anything because we can't do a biopsy because we can't really pinpoint it, and blah, blah, blah. So even in today's world, we still seem to have some technology challenges, but we would love to hear your journey. And we're so sorry you had to go through that. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, sure. No, it's a great question. I was 39 when I found it, so not even old enough for the mammograms, which start when you're 40. I found a bump on my chest wall, actually right above my breast. I have no idea how long it was there. And at the time, I wasn't super worried. I had no family or genetic history, and we're all taught breast cancer is a bump on your breast. And this was on my chest wall. So I thought I'll just, delay, and I'm busy as we all are, and I'll get it taken care of at my next checkup. Well, I happened to have dinner with my mother-in-law the next night, who happened to have just heard a podcast on breast health. And I happened to tell her, and she says, Margot, you get that checked out right now. And I knew she was right. So I did. Flash forward, I had stage 3 breast cancer. And if I would have waited, it would have been stage 4. And kind of what treatment looks like, to just give the audience a little bit of a feel, you immediately start 6 months of chemo, some of the toughest drugs in the world. You lose all of your hair. You can see mine is starting to kind of grow back with a little pony here. This is about 2 years out.
Oh God love you.
So 6 months of chemo, a double mastectomy, a oophorectomy where I took out both my ovaries, so I'm in menopause, a hysterectomy where they remove the uterus, reconstructive surgery, 6 weeks of daily radiation. I'm on one drug for 2 years, another drug for 10 years. So this is massive. Like, I'm doing great, but you do not want to go through this. You'll want to be getting your mammogram.
And were you working at Cigna when this happened?
Yeah. And what surprised me, despite being in my position, turns out 1 in 8 women will get breast cancer, and 85% of the women who get it, they have no family or no genetic history. And I had no idea. So stay diligent.
Yeah. So when it appeared on the chest, how far had it spread?
It had spread to a lymph node, and that's what really determines whether you're getting chemotherapy or not.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, Margot, what a journey. And were your kids here already, or have you had?
Yeah. At the time, I had a 5 and 3-year-old. They were amazing, but a lot of this was holding their hand through this, a lot of it was a journey, and I got a lot of tips for how to guide them through this, working with the school, my husband and his whole family, my family, all are big rock, massive contributors.
And how did this, so what is your role at Cigna Health? You're the
Yeah.
medical clinical solution strategy. So did this play into what you're doing?
Well, yes and no. Ironically, my role before I was diagnosed, I was leading all medical clinical solutions, including oncology. And so the irony here is not lost on me. At the time, I was flying around giving presentations about our oncology solutions, a medical specialty, and now here I'm diagnosed, I'm the patient. And it was clear to me immediately that instead I could not say, why me? Why is this happening? Which is easy to do. I needed to say, why not me? And and what a better person to be diagnosed than the individual leading all these solutions. And it was always a question for me of how can I increase awareness so women know? How can I use my experience to make things better? And we've done a ton. It's been remarkable. We launched, when I came back from leave, I went on leave, but when I came back, we launched a national partnership with a company called Know Your Lemons. They're super cute images. They use lemons instead of breasts to help break social cultural barriers around breast and really educate women around what to look for, questions to ask. We have trained our oncology nurse advocates with survivor curated tips and tricks like, did you know you need to get your eyebrows tattooed before you start chemo? No one tells you this, so you don't look like a cancer patient. You're going to have no. We are launching, this is very exciting, just in September. We're launching a public site because there's really a dearth of information out there if you get breast cancer. It's not like having a baby where, there's books and videos and you can talk to everyone who it seems like who's been through it. But with breast cancer, there's a dearth of information. So we're creating a public site with tips and tricks, survivor curated guidance of what to expect, videos showing survivors, videos showing messages of hope, and guides of questions to ask your insurance company. So there's really been tremendous change. We also changed our nutrition benefit coverage because nutrition is so key as you go through this process, making it unlimited and kind of removing the caps. And what was most amazing for me in going through this experience is you take Cigna, they're a Fortune 15 company, and how they were able to make being so big these changes so quickly, and how it wasn't just me, but I mean, this is senior leadership coming together, putting real dollars behind it. It's thousands of people across the enterprise who knew of me, my story, or had their own personal experience and rallied together to make some meaningful change very quickly. And we continue to do that.
Wow. So if you weren't the self-advocating for yourself, you wouldn't have even had an idea. That would be my sense of what a patient goes through, because how could you?
Right.
I mean, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So your experience really not just changed things at Cigna, but literally in terms of our entire culture. So kudos.
We're hoping.
Yeah, no, that's really good.
Yeah.
How would you guide or give advice to other leaders as they go through these significant health issues? And I know that when I was at Northrop Grumman, all the executives always annually would have to take physicals and do all these intense tests and so forth. Is that pretty common across corporations?
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly a push for prevention and doing your exams. And in fact, Cigna even has an entire day of preventative exams. But as a leader, and many oftentimes as a woman, where you want to show up as that strong, independent woman, I can do work. And if you got a diagnosis like this, you want to keep your life perhaps as normal as possible. And
Right.
I enjoy working. I didn't want cancer to take that away from me. But I was lucky in that one of my mentors was actually a retired Cigna executive. And she explained to me, she said, Margot, you need to go on leave. You are going to have limited discretionary energy as you go through this. And the small moments that you have, your family needs them. And she could tell even at the end of our call that I was really struggling with this concept of just self-care and going on leave. I wanted to work through this. And at the end, she says, if you continue to struggle with this, check your ego. This isn't a war zone, Margot. There is literally no reason why your life should be on the line. And in retrospect, it sounds silly. Like, of course, go on leave. But again, I think it is so hard for many of us to want to prioritize our own health. And I did go on leave, and I needed her to say that. I took the 7 months, and I'll tell you, my job was still there. My team was still there. In fact, I got promoted a year later. And the Cigna leaders, my colleagues, executives, they all stood by my side for those 7 months. No one questioned why I was on leave. And more importantly, as a leader at Cigna, to go on leave and prioritize my health, I think it sends a critical message to, the lower level employees or those rising in the ranks that it's okay and it's important to take the time away and prioritize your own health,
Yes.
and
And
that
so,
we're going to support you.
yes. And so you're recently out of this. So are you considered to be cancer free at this point?
Yeah, well, they say no evidence of disease, but really survivorship kind of goes on for life with breast cancer, and it's something you deal with and the threat of reoccurrence for life.
So how do you personally deal with, working this, I would imagine, a very intense career job, right? While you're still, and you're a leader for your community and for the business, and you're also a mom and super involved, in outside activities. So how are you juggling all this? Just give us a few tips.
Yeah, set boundaries. So easier said than done.
Sorry.
But I
So
know,
hard
right?
to do, right?
I was traveling a lot last year despite all this stuff. I ended up getting sick on the road and snowballed into a septic, life threatening infection where I was in the hospital. And even at that time, I wasn't drawing enough boundaries, but I had a colleague say, Margot, you need to stop traveling for the year, this entire year, because I love presenting and engaging with clients. She said, you need to have a rule where you are going to stay home, and your body needs this, your family needs this, and we need you to be healthy. And that was so important. And that was one of the best decisions. So it's find whatever balance you need and hold to it.
Well, that's great. I'm glad that you were able to do that.
Okay.
Um, so, how has this created innovation for Cigna? Have they come out with new products, new services? I know that they have 3D imaging now. I think I saw something where you don't even have to do they don't have the machine anymore. There's a different approach. So I don't remember the name of the device, but
Which machine? What machine?
they you don't have to do that anymore. I don't think. I think there's a new machine coming out that helps with that. But Margot will tell us what's going on.
Well, yeah, I think mammograms back in the day, there was this perception it was really painful. And certainly every woman is different. The technology has absolutely advanced a lot. And there's tremendous, alternatives out there. There's also ultrasounds. But it's really critical to get your mammogram. Again, you don't want to go through this. We have launched tremendous programs for clients and customers. I walked through some of them, improving breast health. I think what's most important as we continue to innovate in this space is that, you have to put yourself as the customer. Dianne, I think you said it earlier. It was really unique that I was the customer, but whatever it is, whatever industry you're in, force yourself and your team to try out the new program yourself or put your family through it. I have my team visit new hospitals or new sites and take pictures, and let's discuss
Oh,
and it's only going through the process yourself where you can really see the gaps and really see the needs. And by going through it, that's, I think, the real secret to innovation and the secret to unlock meaningful change.
Wow. Wow. So it's estimated, and you gave us a stat earlier that 1 out of every 2 women in the US, I mean, that's huge, will get cancer in their lifetime.
Yeah.
So I don't even want to know the general population, including men. Is it the same thing? 1 out of every 2? And then what guidance would you give to a newly diagnosed person?
Yeah. So the stat, the 1 in 8 stat was concerning breast cancer for women. Men can get breast cancer too, but it's less rare. Overall, in the US, 1 in 2 women will get cancer in their lifetime, and 1 in 3 men. So,
Oh, wow.
yes. Yeah.
Wow.
So, guidance to help women who are going through this or a cancer diagnosis, like you need to know you are not alone. Those
Mhm.
stats, this is becoming way too common. Your default mode is probably going to be, you're the strong individual, you're going to get through this, you don't need help. Is I think where many people want to just go in their own shelter and figure it out by themselves. But the reality is, while you may not need help, it is going to make a massive difference for you and for them, your loved ones, and your family. If you can open up yourself to accept it, people want to help you. Survivors want to guide you through this. They're filled with guidance. Force yourself to pick up that phone and make a call to a survivor and get, their tips and tricks and what they recommend. It doesn't matter your social economic status. Let people in to help you. It's the calls, it's the texts, it's the cards, it's the food. It will make a difference and it will truly carry you through this. And for me, that's what happened. And I am forever changed because of it. And I'm just so grateful I did open up and let people in because it made all the difference.
Wow. And not that you could ever pinpoint a cause, but it's such a high statistic. Do you think it's the plastics? Do you think it's the environment? You think it's our water? Like, what do you think is causing this
Probably all the above, but
explosion?
Yeah, I mean, I would say all of
processed
the above.
food.
You've got to look at the
Yeah.
food, you've got to look at exercise. Alcohol is actually carcinogenic, plastics are carcinogenic. There's, make sure you've got reverse osmosis water filters, air filters. So I've definitely detoxed my home, and my husband was very supportive of that. And we have a lot of cooking rolls, stainless steel pans, etc. But yeah.
Yeah, you don't think of that because of how when you're raised a certain way, right? And then so you have to keep up on all that and do that. Well, you are definitely an amazing executive. And just, what would be just one invitation or ritual you would extend to a woman listening as they are at crossroads with what they're doing with their health and with their well-being?
Sure. And, maybe it's a crossroads for anything, health, well being. Maybe they're stressed out at work. Is this the right job? The most powerful tool I have found is make a list and write it down. And that's hard, but to force yourself to write it down, there is such magic in that. And what happens is you subconsciously start making little behavior changes and little tiny decisions that will slowly get you toward your goal. And it's not going to come overnight and you may veer, but you will look back in the future and you will be there and you'll be able to see, oh, all those here are all the tiny little steps I made that either helped keep me on this positive mentality path or helped me get where I wanted to go. Maybe it's a financial goal, whatever it is, but there is power and magic in making lists and writing it down.
Wow. So,
That's awesome.
on post-it notes, or you have a notebook for it? What's your preferred?
Yeah, I like a journal. I encourage people to get a journal that they really love, a pretty one that speaks to them. And I have a few lists. There's bucket lists. There could be before I got married, there was the ideal man. There was, struggling with career changes. There was, what do I want my ideal life to look like? And financial goals, of course. And it has always worked. Always.
Yep.
Love that.
Yep.
Oh
If you can see it, you can do it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Margaux Currie, who is the Managing Director of Cigna's Commercial Medical Clinical Solutions and Strategy area. Tell us, how does somebody reach you if they have questions or would like more information or just a handhold?
Yeah, absolutely. You can reach out to me, I would say, on LinkedIn. My email address is also my first name at Currie. Will you send my email address out?
If you'd like.
Okay. Yeah, we can send my email address after the show, or you can reach out to me via LinkedIn.
If somebody wants Margot's email, just reach out to me or Beth.
Yeah, and let us know.
Thank you. Thank you, Margot.
Thank you.
And let's thank our sponsors. Well, thank you for listening. We always appreciate you. Thank you so much. Our sponsors include Cigna Healthcare, which we just love you guys. So thank you, Margot, for participating today. Cone Resnick, which is advisory, assurance, and tax services. The City National Bank, Breakthrough Beverage, Uncle Nearest, and we're going to be hosting our summit upcoming next month at Uncle Nearest facility out in the Nashville, Tennessee area. And of course, C-Suite Executive Search. If you're hiring for your team, give us a call. Thank you for listening. Beth, do you want to wrap us up?
Sure. So hit the subscribe button on Apple, Spotify, or everywhere you find your podcast. Leave us a review. Follow us on social media, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. And if you have questions or you need more information, we love to hear. It's Beth, BETH, at csweet.org. And check out our website, www.csuite.org. And we are having our summit September 10th and 11th at Uncle Nearest in Shelbyville, Tennessee. And we have an awesome lineup of speakers. So please join us at that. And thank you again, Margot, for everything you've gone through and for sharing your journey and story with us.
Thank you. Thank you. We wish you
absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for having me. So important.